having a discussion on what it means to black people. First, we must understand, and I think we all do understand, the system itself is not designed for correcting anybody. All right, the system is not designed. When I started in 1990, I actually thought that jail was designed to help people, but it's really just designed to warehouse people and for the system to make money off people. Now we also got to understand that our governor closed many psychiatric hospitals throughout New York State when he became governor. It wasn't talked about a lot. Some people tried a little pushback, but we are now housing those people that should be housed in psychiatric facilities, and now correctional officers are actually having to take courses on dealing with mentally ill people.
Right.
Now, and while they're housing us, they're also cutting back aid to mentally ill people on the outside.
Yeah.
So it would lead them to come into the facilities. And when you look at Rikers Island and you look at the politics around it, Rikers Island itself is a prime piece of property. I'm going to say it again. Rikers Island is a prime piece of property. And Governor Cuomo also, when they passed to give Kennedy and LaGuardia Airport billions of dollars to rebuild and restructure. When they close Rikers Island, guess who might have that property? So, in my position, in which our organization has always said, and in the spirit of Malcolm, that the protest has been bamboozled because they used the protesters for an agenda that they already had from the beginning. So we have to look at that. We have to look at that aspect also. And when you read the report that was issued, they talked about. I mean, being in jail is the effect, but what's the cause? The cause of it: homelessness, substance abuse, mental illness, poor educational system. So when we look at closing the jail and just putting somebody in a new jail, what Chris Rock said, a new jail is better than an old project every day. And that's the reality of it, because the only thing we're doing is making it more comfortable for people to come into, and not look forward to, so they don't want to come into, because we're not addressing a lot of the issues. When they talk about bail, the changing the bail structure, they could do that now. You know, a lot of the things in the report, we don't have to wait till Rikers close to change. You know, and why is it 10 years? Why is it the projection of 10 years? I mean, they can build these jails within the next 3 years. They could actually start tomorrow. Those are the inmates that are there that are state bound. They can ship them to state, and they can start closing these the housing units down one by one, and then building the facilities one by one. I really think my honest opinion, they have no intentions, you know, unless it's pushed more. And then, but where are they going to put the facilities at? Are these courthouses able to be transformed into detention buildings? I don't know, right? And we know they're not going to put them in the affluent neighborhoods. That's not happening. What is the county out in Long Island? One of the representatives said that they're not coming out here, regardless. So there's going to be a lot of pushback. Where they're going to build these, where they're actually going to build these buildings, and that is the question. So what if you put up a new jail, right? But you still have the same system, right? And if you don't put the proper programs within the facility for these people, the only thing you're doing is just housing them in new facilities. So you know, I think we need to step back and really watch what the politicians actually do with this. It sounds good. It really sounds good to close Rikers, yes, because the only thing they're doing is putting a Band-Aid on the problem. They're not really spending the money to fix the housing, to fix the building, to fix the faulty infrastructure, to fix anything on Rikers, because it costs a lot of money. You know, it's always cheaper to knock down and build a new building, but they haven't been doing that. So, you know, from a correction officer standpoint, yes, It needs to be changed because the security in Rikers and many other facilities throughout New York State are very dangerous, not only to the civilians, not only to the inmates, but to the officers also. But Rikers Island in particular, you know, there are 90% misdemeanors in there.
Right.
And a lot of them can't make bail.
Right.
Why they can't make bail? Because you have a faulty educational system when a dropout only makes $31,000 a year. High school educated person, $42,000. In some colleges, $50,000. And you move on up. So we already understand the system. So the jail is part of the system, and it's part of a system that's destroying the black community. So I think we also need to push our elected officials that closing Rikers is part of the problem, but they also need to address the ills and the needs in the community, so we won't have people going to Rikers. I mean, if you want to change the jail system, keep people from going to jail.
That's right.
Address the needs in the community. And I think even throughout these reports, or what I hear the elected officials saying, they're really not doing that. They're focusing on what the protesters are doing, and they're feeding into that. And the ultimate goal is real estate at the end of the day. Thank you.
Absolutely right.